And there I was, basically in complete darkness with no one around me. My heart was pounding and my legs were aching, and I was just trying to put one foot in front of the other. And finally, I turned the last corner and I see nothing but blinding light with people on either side. I run through the cattle guards with people chanting my name over and over and cheering, and I didn't even know these people. But I finally make it there, and I hear my name come over the intercom system, and I see 1616. Someone puts a medal around my neck, and thankfully I get a bottle of water. Earlier today, I had just done 2.5 miles swim in the ocean, a 112-mile bike ride, and a full 26.2 marathon, all in the same day, all in 16 hours and 16 minutes. While that's an abysmal time for actual competitive Ironman athletes, it's pretty impressive because 2 years earlier, I didn't know how to swim. I hadn't ridden a bike in over a decade, and I couldn't run for more than a mile or two. So how did I do it? I had never really liked doing cardio. I could only run like a mile or two. I did it in college for our fitness class, but outside of that, I didn't really enjoy it. And finally, I wanted a different cardio than just running for my mile a day. So I picked up a bike. My dad tried getting me into biking forever, and I just didn't like it for some reason. I didn't like the thought of it. But he finally convinced me to, and I just picked up biking for fitness. And I still ran every once in a while, but there was something about wanting to do more that I wanted. So I started trying to swim as well, and I quickly found out that I could not swim. It was terrible. But somehow I found myself in the triathlon world, and I did my first race. I basically drowned the entire swim. The bike ride was great, and I had to walk the end. And that walking the end in my very first race, which only took like an hour and a half, but I couldn't do that full hour and a half, was motivation for me 2 years later to complete a full Ironman distance triathlon. 2.5 miles in the ocean, 112 miles on a bike, and a 26.2 full marathon. And how did I get there? That was just a pipe dream. Completing an Ironman was just a faraway dream that I never thought that I could accomplish. How could someone that didn't even know how to swim do 2.5 miles in the ocean? And that was terrifying then. But there were, I'd say, 3 key things that I did that you can apply to your life to accomplish whatever your dreams are. And the first one is routine. Our brain craves routine. If our brain can learn to expect it, it's much more likely to be happy with it. So the first routine that I started doing, because at the peak of my Ironman training plan, it was like 3-4 hour workouts in the morning. So how do you fit all of that in? Well, you make a routine and you wake up early. So, and waking up early really wasn't something that I did all the time. I worked out. It was just more at lunch and in the evening, never really in the morning. So how did I get up every morning at 5:30, 6 a.m.? I had a routine. When my alarm went off, I knew that I had to get out of bed. And to get out of bed, I knew that I had my hydration supplement. It was raspberry lemonade. It tastes amazing, right? So that was my reward for getting out of bed. And I eventually built this habit. As soon as my alarm went off, I was out of my bed 1 second later. And it was just the routine for the day. The next thing I did was implement rewards. See, our brain loves doing the easy things, and that gives us dopamine, right? That's our reward system, is getting dopamine. Well, for working out 4 hours at a time, you tend to not enjoy it, right? Especially in the beginning. What I did was create a reward system. So, like the example of me getting out of bed. The reward for getting out of bed was a drink that I enjoyed. So my brain knew that if I get out of bed, I get the reward of having a drink. Well, same thing applies to working out. I did that on a crazier scale. At the peak of my training, I was doing 7 to 8 hours on a bike, which is just awful. I did not like that. Anything less than like 5, perfect. But anything more than that, it's not fun. So what I did is, when you're burning 5,000 calories in a day, it doesn't really matter what you eat. 2,000 calories of pizza and ice cream is just a drop in the bucket, so that's what I would do. I would, after my 7-8 hour bike ride, I would head to Andy's, head to Papa John's. Papa John's is the best, but it was quick, so I got it, But I got that, and I had like 2,000 calories of pizza and ice cream, and that was a reward that I had the luxury of affording. So my body started to realize that it knew that, okay, if we can just get through these 7 or 8 hours, then we get pizza and ice cream. And that's what we want. We don't want the biking, but we want the pizza and ice cream. So it was a way that I could trick my brain into being okay with what I was doing. Because the one thing that I tell people all the time in doing this Ironman journey is your body can do so much more than your brain thinks it can. So if you can break past those mental barriers, you can set yourself up for success. And the last thing I did was reduce my decision making, because decision fatigue is a real thing. CEOs don't get paid to make 1,000 decisions a day. They get paid to make one really important decision. So even people like Kevin O'Leary, he wears the same suit, not the same suit, the same style of suit every single day. That's one less decision that he has to make every single day. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, he only schedules meetings for 10 a.m. By the time 5 o'clock rolls around, he knows that his brain is done. He just pushes everything to that 10 a.m. And the same is true with working out. I would have my pre-planned training plan already set up on my watch, and I woke up that morning and whatever my watch told me to do, I would do. Now I generally knew if it was a swim, bike, or run, or a combination of the three that day, so I was mentally prepared because of that routine part. I did the same workouts on the same days, so Tuesday, I knew it was a bike and a swim. My brain knew, okay, I wake up on Tuesday, this is what I'm gonna do. It's prepared for it, it's routine. But that always varies. Are you doing 20 miles? Are you doing sprints? So that's what my watch would tell me. That's what I relied on my watch for. I would wake up and just blindly follow my watch. And I had the liberty of doing that because of the pre-planning that I put into it. I front-loaded all of the decision making. If I was gonna do sprints on Tuesday, I had to do this on Wednesday and that on Thursday. I knew that going into it. So just pre-plan that and blindly follow when you don't have the decision-making capacity. So let's apply these to your life. Have a routine. If you want to go to the gym, if you want to study more, put it in a routine. Your brain will appreciate it and start to form those habits. Having habits structurally changes your brain, and that's what we want. It's easier to do this. I've done 2 years of Ironman. Still to this day, I wake up no problem, I go to the gym. I have different goals now, but it's still executed the same. The habits are still the same. Have a routine and stick to it. If you're doing anything hard, have a reward system. Have a way to artificially induce dopamine. So if you're doing something that isn't super fun, reward yourself with something that you find fun. Now try to stick away from negative habits like smoking or eating an entire birthday cake when you do one test, right? But find small things that you can reward yourself, and you're gonna find those small things are gonna carry you really far. And lastly, reduce your decision making. It isn't just for those CEOs and famous rich people, right? It's for us too. So start finding ways that you can reduce the amount of decisions that you have throughout a day. And that's gonna make the decisions that you do make that much more beneficial. So if you want to reduce your wardrobe, you have that few options. If that's something easy that you can do the night before, boom, you have your outfit for the day. That's one less decision that you have to make. If you meal prep, you already have your meals for the day. You don't have to go home and cook and figure out what you're cooking and go to the grocery store. Set yourself up for success. Today's video was a little bit different. It was more about my personal experiences and how I think that they could help you. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy this style of video, go ahead and drop a comment down below letting me know so I could make more videos like this. Also, let me know in the comments down below what of the 3 things you do or that you're gonna start implementing. I would really enjoy that feedback. And like always, if you want to be a part of our community, if you like personal, professional, or financial development, hit that red subscribe button. I'm putting out 2 to 3 videos every single week geared towards giving you tools to succeed. Proud of you, love you, and I'll see you next time.